You're a grown adult. You're safe inside your home. The doors are locked, and yet you have to walk down to a dark basement or the lights suddenly cut out. And something in you tightens. Your heart speeds up. Your eyes strain. A part of your brain is suddenly absolutely certain that something is there. You know it's irrational. So why can't you just switch it off? Here's the answer. This fear isn't a weakness. It's one of the oldest and most successful alarm systems ever built. But to understand it, we have to fix one thing you've got backwards. You think you're afraid of the dark. You're not. Because think about what darkness actually is. It's nothing. It's just an empty room, an empty street, an empty night. The darkness itself can't hurt you. So you're not afraid of the dark at all. You're afraid of what the dark might be hiding. And to see why that's so terrifying, look at how you're built. Humans are visual creatures. We are creatures of the day. A huge share of everything you know about your surroundings comes in through your eyes. Some estimates put it at 2/3 or more. Sight is by far your dominant sense. So what happens the moment the lights go out? Your most powerful sense is switched off. You're not blind exactly. You're blindfolded in a world that might contain a threat. And your brain absolutely hates that. Your ears try to take over, but ears are clumsy. They can warn you a threat exists, but they can't quite tell you where. Here's the deep problem your ancestors faced. We evolved for daylight. Our eyes are poor in the dark. We don't have the night vision of a cat, or an owl, or a wolf, but the large predators that hunted us often did. Lions, leopards, hyenas. Many of them hunt at night. So picture the position your ancestors were in. When the sun went down, they became half blind. And half blind in the dark, they were prey. For millions of years, nightfall was the single most dangerous time to be alive. And for most of that time, we had no fire, no walls, no way to push the night back. So your brain evolved a strategy for that darkness. And it's a strange one. When it loses its visual data, it refuses to leave the gap empty. Instead, it fills it in, and it fills it with the worst possible guess. A twig snaps in the dark. It could be the wind. It could be a falling branch. But your brain doesn't say probably the wind. It says predator. That leap isn't your imagination malfunctioning. It's a safety feature, running exactly as designed. Scientists sometimes call this the smoke-detector principle. To understand why, think about a smoke detector. A smoke alarm goes off when you burn toast. It's annoying. It's almost always a false alarm, but you would never remove it. Because the one time it isn't a false alarm, it saves your life. Your fear of the dark works exactly the same way. Consider the two mistakes your ancestors could make. Mistake 1, you think a bush is a bear and panic. There's no bear. The cost? A jolt of fear, a little wasted energy. Mistake 2, you think a bear is a bush and relax. The cost of that one is your life. Faced with those odds, evolution made its choice. It built a brain that would rather be scared 1,000 times for nothing than be calm once at the exact wrong moment. Fear is cheap. Being wrong is fatal, which leads to a strange and beautiful conclusion. Your fear of the dark is not a flaw to be fixed. It's an inheritance from the survivors. Every single one of your ancestors lived long enough to have children, everyone. And in a world full of night predators, the nervous ones had an edge. The ancestor who felt that chill at dusk and moved closer to the fire lived. The one who felt nothing and wandered into the dark sometimes didn't. You are afraid of the dark because the people who weren't are not your ancestors. That fear is quite literally why you're here. In the dark, fear was never a flaw. It was a survival skill. Now imagine a night before your people had fire. A small band, huddled together in total blackness, Every sound from beyond arm's reach is a question with no answer. Is that the wind? Or is that breathing? There is no way to know. And not knowing is its own kind of terror. Now give them fire. Suddenly there's a circle of light, a small island where you can see again. Fire didn't just bring warmth and cooked food, it gave your ancestors back their eyes in the dark. It pushed the unknown back just a few meters. For 100,000 nights, that small circle of light stood between your ancestors and the dark. And that is why humans are so deeply drawn to a flame. It's the oldest feeling of safety we have. But here's the catch you live with today. This alarm system evolved for a world that is mostly gone. Your brain's fear doesn't know the doors are locked. It doesn't know there are no leopards in the hallway. It's still running a program written 2 million years ago. Running it perfectly, in a 10th floor apartment where nothing is hunting you. It's a prehistoric organ stuck in a modern life. The threat it braces for hasn't truly existed for thousands of years, but the brain has no way to know that. And once you see that, you notice it everywhere. It's why children fear the dark the most. A small child was once the easiest possible prey. It's why a simple nightlight works like magic. A little light says, "The unknown is smaller now." It's why horror movies hide the monster instead of showing it. An unseen threat is far more frightening than any creature they could film. They're not scaring you. They're letting your ancient brain scare itself. And it's why, in a dark room, you can feel so sure that someone is behind you. That's not a ghost. It's a 2 million-year-old guard still watching your back. So the next time the lights go out and your heart jumps, don't be embarrassed by it. That feeling isn't childish. It isn't weakness. It's millions of years of survival doing its job, quietly checking the darkness, so you don't have to. That fear kept your ancestors alive through every single night for longer than we can imagine. And it's still standing guard tonight, even when there's nothing left out there, except an empty, ordinary dark. So the next time it wakes, thank it quietly and turn on the light.